All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. This is the first episode of Starving Artists, where artists, entrepreneurs, and small business owners come onto the show and basically tell us what their business is about. And it's also good for the community because they're able to contact and be able to have these people come on if they need any type of services. And our first guest today is going to be Regina Pabon, and she is the owner of BK2PR Catering Services. Welcome on the show, Regina.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. So basically, we are wanting to know, like, your catering business. How did you start? First of all, where are you located?
We are based out of Staten Island, New York, but we are a traveling catering company. So we will travel within the tri-state area. And basically, we cater to people's allergies, food restrictions, but our forte is Puerto Rican food, but we also give varieties of Italian and American as well.
Great. So you have all types of varieties. So let me ask you if you have special orders or special types of delicacies or foods, you're able to go ahead and use that and make the client satisfied to what they're requesting for. Do you ever find anything hard or anything, that you feel, it's not your specialty or something that you're able to accommodate to?
Right now, everyone is watching their health. They're all being more health conscious with their choices and what they're eating. So we do accommodate vegans, vegetarians. We do try to provide gluten-free dishes, but that's a little touchy because through research, we realized that when you are going to prepare gluten-free dishes, that they actually have to have separate pots and pans.
Right.
So the most that we can do for gluten-free is basically like, vegetables and stuff like that.
Okay.
But if we did any Spanish food for gluten-free, we would have to do that like in separate, pots and pans. So I think gluten-free is the only challenge. But as for vegans and vegetarians, we can definitely cover them. A lot of people also have allergies, so we're very, we ask about allergies. We pretty much just cater the menu to your needs.
Good. Okay.
So.
All right, that sounds good. And usually, you're in Staten Island. Now you cater to other boroughs, to other places.
We have traveled to Virginia, Pennsylvania. We literally, like, if you're willing to pay, we're willing to travel.
Okay, that's good, right? Definitely. Yeah. Okay, so, tell us a little bit about how BK2PR started and what was your passion to start the company?
So, working many years in corporate America, kind of boring. Money's good, but it's really not that exciting. I kind of found myself in a rut. Mm-hmm. And, food has always been a love of mine. My grandma was my first inspiration when it came to cooking. I was always, up under her and watching her. So half of the recipes are hers. Mm. And then I dated someone for a really long time, and their mother, who to this day is one of my moms, right, and I am in contact with this to this day. The other recipes come from her. She's another old school, traditional, hands blessed, right, person. So I had the opportunity of having two wonderful women, strong, right, and very talented in the kitchen, right, and I got both of them in one. So the reason why I thought it was important to start a Puerto Rican catering companies because I kind of felt like we were losing our culture. Like, a lot of young people today don't cook. They really don't know our traditions and our heritage and, what we do for our holidays and how we make it. And right. So, it was kind of making me sad. But since I've started this company, I kind of seen a little boost in people coming back and wanting to learn how to cook and learn the traditions of our people. So, I'm glad that I took this journey because it's, so far so good.
Good. So I'm pretty sure in that type of business, you meet a lot of different types of people and cook for different types of foods. and it's a good clientele to build. Now, as far as you're creating that atmosphere for yourself and creating clients and all that. How's that been, through the process for you to build that clientele? How do you go about like going out there and getting those to come to you and know who you are?
In the beginning was a little slow because I really didn't know what avenues to take. But food festivals was a really great way to get my name out there. And that's when I really started getting a lot of customers. The other thing that I did was I started working with it's called a small business administration offices. So they have like little offices. There's one in Staten Island on Forest Avenue.
Right.
So I started working with them, and they actually helped me get certified to become a woman minority business owner.
That's great.
So I actually also get jobs from the city.
Right.
So I have a steady client right now, and my steady client right now is the Office of Faith-Based Initiative from the New York City Mental Health and Hygiene.
Good.
And they actually have the most diverse group. So for them, I mix it up a little. So like I'll do a green salad, and I'll do an eggplant parmesan, and then I do yellow rice and peas, and I do a baked chicken.
Getting me hungry already.
Okay. So that they liked it so much, that's now their staple. Like that's their go-to menu.
Right.
Like they haven't changed it. And I've been working with them since December.
Wow.
So now we're in March, and they're still having the same menu. Like I try to change it on them, and they're
They
like,
want that.
They want the menu to stay that way. But I would say the best part, anyone who's starting a business, the best way to get out there is festivals and fairs. That's how you get people to know who you are, and that's how you can communicate and give out your business cards, and they can either sample what you're selling or, buying your food or what have you. But I definitely saw a little spike in my Instagram when I started doing food festivals.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you're putting your business out there, and those type of festivals, of course, they bring a lot of people, and that's the best way because they know who you are, and they want to contact you later on, and and they want to hire you. So that's one of the best ways to, of course, to start that.
I definitely got a couple of customers, well, more than a couple of customers from the festivals that I've done. So they definitely work.
Good. So what would you say it would be like your favorite dish to make? What's like your, I love to make this. I have to make, even if it's not for a client, like, what's your favorite?
Seafood ceviche.
Oh my God, that's so good.
I actually made it on Friday.
Oh my goodness, I love it.
So it's actually octopus, shrimp, crab, guineo verde, onions, olives, capers, and then you got to do a mixture of a red wine vinaigrette. You do the olive oil, the water, the seasonings, and it's just amazing.
It's so
and it's
good.
refreshing.
You're a seafood lover. Oh my God, that's like the best.
And a lot of people know this, but any seafood salad, like lemon is a must.
Right.
Like there's that citrus flavor, just brings it out. So Friday was craving it, and I can't say there's any left. Sorry.
Damn it, I wanted some. I'll get that. I'll get some. I know, right? So, your clients, like, what is like the main dish that they always want to order from you? Like,
oh, I know this is going to sound horrible, but when you make something a gajillion times, you kind of get tired of it. So the number one hit is always arroz con gandules and pernil. And I know that's everybody's favorite, but for some reason people say that my rice and my pernil is different. I don't know. I guess maybe because I give it extra love. I'm definitely into my food.
Gotta give love to the food. If you want it to taste good, you gotta put your foot in it.
I'm one of those people that when I'm in the kitchen, I don't want anybody else in there. I know people get upset and people want to come talk to me. Like, don't talk to me. I'm in the zone. Don't speak to me. I'm nasty.
Oh my God.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm nasty.
Get out of my kitchen.
You want good product, you want a good turnout, then just let me zone out. Let me do my thing. and it'll be a great product. I'll put out something that you love. But if you keep interrupting me and I get my concentration broken and things don't work out.
Oh my God. That's it. All hell's break loose. Damn it. Oh.
Yeah, I think any artist, even like a painter or a photographer, you need your
zone.
Yeah, you need to just be in that moment.
In that moment. I'm telling you, those moments, they're
crucial.
Yes, they are. Very much so. So, like you said, you do all the 5 boroughs. Usually you do for private caterings, 2 private parties.
We do small parties, we do large parties. It really doesn't matter. Obviously, if it's out of the borough, there's obviously going to be a delivery fee. But, we don't have a problem about delivering where, I know that there's not many Puerto Rican caterers.
Right.
And because I know there's not, then it's really hard for me to say no to a person.
Right.
Like I said, if they're willing to pay, then I'm willing to travel.
Right, right.
We are very authentic. We keep it very old school, very grandma flavors. We're not trying to do the nouveau or the fusion. Like, we're just, maybe
traditional.
Yeah, maybe sometime in the future. But right now, that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to reestablish our culture. What the Taino Indians brought, what the Africanos brought, what the Spaniards brought. And what made Puerto Rico.
Right.
And I would like to re-educate the young people, because back in the days it was the woman in the kitchen.
Right.
It's not that, because the majority of men who are chefs are the best.
Right.
But for a lot of cultures, the women are in the kitchen, and it's not like that anymore.
Yeah.
So for anyone who is willing to learn how our ancestors cooked, and what they ate, and how they want to bring our culture, to their family and bring it to their future, so that way we don't lose it, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
So, but one of the things I will be doing by the end of this year is setting up cooking classes.
That's great. I was just about to ask you that. So I'm glad you brought that up. And, that's something, like you said, the youth have to learn a lot of, of their own culture, and also just to learn how to cook. Just a basic 101.
Survive.
Yeah.
Can't eat fast food forever.
No, you can't, and then that fast food damages you after a while. So to learn how to cook healthy meals, and to learn how to cook, your culture, how, what seasonings to use and all that, that's very important. And the youth needs a lot of guidance, right? So they need to, have opportunities where, like yourself, are able to come in and be able to offer that to the youth. So summer is coming, spring is coming. There's a lot of, kids are going to be off from school soon and stuff like that. So your workshop, you're working on that, and, you want to create something in an atmosphere where the youth can come and feel comfortable to come to you and be able to say, hey, I want to go to Regina, and, set that up. So any little plans on that? Maybe a little sneak peek going into the summertime, or how did you want to go about it and set that up?
I probably see it more happening in the fall.
Okay.
Because during spring and summer, I really like participating in a lot of the festivals because they're a lot of fun.
Right.
I do get, exhausting. At the end of the night, your feet are swollen. Everything, your ankles, you're just trying to give out.
Right.
But when you're there and the adrenaline is flowing and you're meeting people and you're cooking and people are talking to you and asking questions, and you also get to shop at other vendors, and it's such a great social scene that really doesn't happen anymore.
Right.
So I really try to engage in those social scenes, because getting out there and meeting people, there's no other better way of getting your name and your food out there.
Yeah, definitely.
You can put great pictures up on the internet, but they can't taste it.
All right.
It's like, it's a great shot, but does it taste good?
Right.
But I see it more, in the fall, when things are kind of dying down, and it's kind of heading towards the holidays, where people are going to want to know how to make these dishes.
Right.
And, usually it's pasteles. People always want to know, how do you make your pasteles?
Oh, yes. This is so good.
So I tell people all the time, I go, if you're willing to have the patience.
Yeah.
and put in the time
Definitely.
and the hard work, I'm
Right.
willing to teach.
Right.
A lot of people say they're in it, and then when they get there and they realize how much work it is,
yeah.
you see just see them kind of like diminished, like, wow, I don't know if I really want to do this. And it kind of breaks my heart because, yeah. So I figured out of a fun way
Right.
of how to get people to do it,
Right. Right.
And you also got to remember it's a family thing. It's
Right.
kind of one of those dishes that you got to bring people with you. I do it on my own because it's my business, you
Right.
know, but no one just wants to sit there and make, like 100 pateles on their own. So, if they can get their family members and gather all around the table, yeah, I think that we can get more people engaged in
Right.
in cooking and getting, and plus, what's the benefit? You get to spend more time with your family. You get to bond.
That's right.
You get to do things that people are not doing anymore, which is spending time together.
Right.
But if I can get them to be excited
Right.
the way I get excited
That's an accomplishment.
to make certain things,
Right.
then I think that I pretty much served my purpose.
And I believe that you will do great on that
Thank you.
because you're a good teacher.
Thank you.
Now let's talk a little bit about your surrounding, your support system, like the people around you before you started your catering company. Tell us a little bit more about your home front. Who's there? Who is always there?
Well, whenever you're going to start a business, no matter what it is, you do need a couple of people in your corner because
Right.
there's nothing on this planet that you can totally do alone.
Right.
It doesn't exist. You always need help. And at first, I wasn't so confident because, friends and family, they're going to like your food. They're going to,
Yeah, they
give you
guess
those
you.
kudos
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But it really didn't spark off till I started working for a particular company. Won't say their name. And I came in with lunch one day, and this one girl smelled the food, and she was like, "Hey, where'd you get that from?" And I said, "I made it."
Right.
And she said, "What'd you make?"
She was just, the smell was in her nose, huh?
And I said to her, "Pollo guisado and arroz blanco."
That's
chicken stew and white rice.
Yes.
And she was like, "If you make me lunch, I'll pay you."
Oh.
And I said to her, "Okay."
Why not, right?
So I made her lunch the next day, and she paid for it.
Awesome.
That day, while she was eating lunch, somebody said, "Where'd you get that from?" She said, "Regina." And before you know it, by the end of the week, I had 20 people asking me to make them lunch.
Word of mouth is still out there. Word of mouth.
So no exaggeration. I was getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning,
Oh, boy.
cooking for about 20 people.
Wow.
Because I had to be at work at 7 in the morning.
Oh, my God. Where did you find the time like that? That's crazy. I'd be like, you know what? Check me on the weekend, okay? Not during the week. I would have lost that.
I guess part of me wanted to know what strangers thought because
About your food, yeah.
friends and family, they love you,
But when you have an outside perspective.
I believe that they do like my food, but
Yeah.
you can't help think in the back of your head, they have love for me. Like,
They're being nice
is
or
that
truthful.
are they being blinded from the love or
Yeah,
whatever the case
yeah.
may be? So I literally would walk in at 6:55 into that office with a huge bag on my shoulder
Oh, my
and sit
God.
there, and they would all pop up and start handing me money and just taking their lunch and go back to their desk.
Oh, my God.
And it was actually a call center. That's all I'll say. And,
We won't say that.
and it was because of them.
That
They
started-
gave me the extra confidence I needed
Right.
to say, okay, I could do this.
Awesome.
And I have to say that I knew exactly. You learn people's taste buds because the same people would order the same thing. Because, it went from me making the same lunch 20 times, for the same people where I was taking orders. And like I
Right.
was, people were like asking for different stuff.
Right.
And, like there was one person, he would order 3 pastelons.
Wow.
And I'd be like, "Who are you ordering this for?" And he's like, "Me."
For himself.
I was like, "Oh, this is for dinner. This is for lunch." I was like, "Okay, whatever works." So yeah, it was definitely that call center that gave me that boost to say, yeah, you need to do this. This is your calling.
Good.
And I'm glad that happened. You know, God works in mysterious ways because I really hated that job.
Yeah, you see?
I really hated that job.
Well, sometimes that happens to a lot of us. We wind up, hating our jobs and stuff like that. And we wish that we had a little bit of more time to create something on the side to what we really feel passionate about, but your passion is what pushes you forward, and the responses that you get from the people that does taste your food to basically be our repetitive customers. And, that's something that is, looked at as, you're doing something good here, and that's what it is that we should all be able to go ahead and input in our lives, even if it's on the weekends, a little something, should never be stuck at a place where you're unhappy, and should be something that you personally like to do. And just, you never know, just, put it out there, test it out there. People could say yay or nay, but if you don't do it, you would never know. So I always say, go for it. Whatever you feel that's what's going to, make you a success. And, you never know. Put your goods out there. Take a chance. You have to take a chance in life, because life is too short, first of all. So, so
I think that I always knew that I was going to do something in food.
Right. You cooked all your life.
Yeah, but I think that there was something in the back that always knew that this was going to eventually be the path that I was going to take. I don't think I've really made the connection, but I think it was there, because I always had I know this is going to sound crazy, but I always had like a really strange love for food.
Yeah.
Since a little girl.
Right.
Like, my grandmother has, God, she has like 30-something grandkids.
Jesus.
And you're not supposed to have a favorite. But she had 9 kids.
Well, all those children, oh my goodness.
You're not supposed to have a favorite, but I was her favorite because, I pretty much ate everything that she made. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like, I wasn't one of those, ew, I don't like that. Like, I was like, what's that? You
Yeah.
know? And I always wanted to know what it was and where it came from. Like, I remember asking questions like while my cousins were outside playing and hanging out, and I was in the kitchen like, what are you doing with that? Why do you do that? And
You have the interest.
so I think that it was always going to happen. Just didn't know when.
It was a matter of time. It was just a matter of time.
It was part of my destiny.
Definitely. Well, you're doing good.
I'm happy.
Yeah, that's what counts. When you go out there and you try something and you success, and you're happy. I think your happiness in what you're doing counts for a lot, because hey, listen, people are I have clients. I'm loving what I'm doing, and you're making a business for yourself. So this is why we have this show, because small business owners and entrepreneurs out there, they and artists, they need that shot. They need to be publicized, to be put out there. And, once you start rolling into that, you're going to find out more or less like, okay, this is what I want to do. I don't want to do this anymore. So when you start doing that, you felt like this is what I want to do.
Yeah, I think everyone on this planet doesn't want the what ifs.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I didn't start that way. I didn't start, hey, I'm going to do I want to do this? Do I not want to do this? It kind of just was like, hey, people really like your food. Mm-hmm. Like, you should do this.
Right.
So
you have encouragement. You had.
Yeah, seeing their faces. I see, like, I remember one particular person, he said to me, I said, I'm going to make some lemon chicken. He's like, oh, I love lemon chicken. I was like, okay, no problem. Every week, he's like, hey, you making lemon chicken?
Oh, my God.
I'm making lemon chicken.
You wanted that lemon chicken.
I was like, if you want. He's like, but that reaction
right.
is what makes you take the next step,
right.
the next step, and the next step. Because if people didn't smile or ask you for that dish again, I don't think it would make you want to go to the next level. Kind of, be like, hey, they're not really responding the way I wish they would.
Right.
But thank God, people have really responded well.
Good.
Some people have responded more than well, where
Yes.
they've become, repeated customers. I'm happy. I like what I do. I
Good.
love cooking. I love eating everything in sight. I'll try anything once. I will. Like I'm definitely that little girl. Like I love liver and onions.
Oh my God.
You know,
Liver
that
and
little-
onions. I used to run from that.
Oh my God, it's one of my favorites. I'm that little girl. So,
Yes, all that good stuff.
so in turn, I raised a little boy who has a fantastic palate.
Yes, he sure does. Her son is amazing. And he's going to be 16 soon. Oh, my goodness. I know.
Break my heart.
He's bigger. He's a man. You got a man at home.
I told him his lip was dirty. He said, "Mom, it's a mustache." I said, "My bad."
Oh, my God. When they get to that age.
But yes, he has a fantastic palate. He doesn't turn things away. He'll try things once.
Yes.
His favorite dish is lamb chops. I mean, I know Puerto Rican lamb chops. I know. It's his favorite. Yeah. I just think that if a lot of kids were exposed to a lot
Right.
more dishes, they would eat a lot more.
I would say
things
so,
Than
definitely.
chicken nuggets and macaroni and cheese.
Well, let me ask you something since we're on that topic also, because, like we're talking about the youth, right? And the youth, basically, there's a lot of youth out there that usually the parents at home, they can't afford, to buy meals and stuff like that. And, it's known to where you could buy a McDonald's burger for $1, opposed to you can't buy a salad for less than $5.
It's true.
So something in that perspective, it's hard because you want your children to be able to eat healthy, and sometimes the parents are not able to provide that, or it's just the food that is supposed to be healthy for you. At times they're expensive. Now, would you have any type of way or an idea to something to say, hey, listen, you don't have to eat that. You
Like,
can
this
eat
is what you
something
can
healthy.
do.
Yeah.
The only thing that I found that works for me, I stopped buying so much food to store in my home.
Right.
When you buy so much food because you think, all right, I just got paid, let me go food shopping. When you over purchase, you wind up throwing out more than you realize.
I realized that
Right.
myself. Yes.
So I had to change that habit within my own home.
Right.
This might not work for everyone because it's all about time. Mm-hmm. If you can purchase your dinner daily,
Right.
you would save a lot of money because you're not throwing away something that's sitting in the refrigerator
Okay.
that you might not see because the juice is covering it or whatever
Right.
the case may be, or
Right.
you didn't have time to cook it, or I found that I look at the sales.
Right.
I see who's giving what sales, whatever way. I'm definitely about my circulars.
Yes.
I don't care. Yes.
Hey,
it's-
listen, you got to look at the specials.
I'm all about the circulars and the coupon. I believe in those things. They really do help. But if you have the time, then I wouldn't purchase certain things,
Right.
in quantity just to last for the week because you don't use it.
Right. And it's so true. I mean, there is so much waste that people like, oh, let me just do the groceries for the week, and it just sits there because either you don't have the time, you come home late from work, it's just
You're tired. You wind up ordering a pizza,
Right.
But you bought string beans on Monday, and now it's Wednesday, and the string beans are not looking so hot. So now you
That's
just
right.
wasted $3-4 on string beans that you could have bought the same day had you really craved them.
Exactly.
So in my opinion, if you have the time, try to purchase your dinners, because that doesn't really work with breakfast and lunch, but
Yeah.
it's really about the dinners where people are coming home from work, they're tired,
Right.
and they want to eat something good, they want to give their kids something good before they go to bed. I would stop by the market right before I go home and get whatever dinner it is, and I try to do like quick things. Like I'm all about the chicken breast,
Yeah.
the salmon, fish,
Yes.
something that you could cook fast.
Right.
Whatever vegetable you throw in the water for a couple of minutes and ice bath, like something quick, something healthy.
Right.
But the only thing that I think of that you can reduce the waste and throwing things away is trying to shop the day of
Right.
what you want to eat.
And you know, nowadays, I mean, for the working parents, even if they don't have the time to stop at the supermarket, there are a lot of supermarkets that now you could order your groceries online
And you can pick it up.
and you can pick it up. So it cuts off, you know, a lot of your time. And, you know, I feel sometimes there's just no excuse. You know, a lot of people like, oh, I like my burgers and I like this and this and that.
So do I.
You know?
I eat junk food. I will not sit here and say that I do not have my fair share of junk food. I'm sorry.
I do too.
Yeah, I love, this is how I have my Big Mac. Okay? I'm a Big Mac lover, and it has to be with extra lettuce,
Yes.
ketchup. That's just the way I like my. So I'm not going to sit here and say, don't, you know, have a little snack or a little cheat
Right.
day.
Right.
That's unrealistic. But when you have children and you got to get them to bed at a certain time and you're coming home from work, and sometimes it is easier, but it's not always
Right.
the smart thing to do.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. You know, and that's what it is. I mean, you know, you have to find means and ways. Some people don't even know, oh my God, like how am I gonna, you know, set this up? Or some people I know this woman, she pre-cooks her dinner for the week.
She meal preps.
Yes. Meal preps.
A lot of
right?
people meal prep today, and you know that's okay. You know, it depends on what type of person you are. If you have the time to meal prep, I'd say go for it, because then you can definitely save some money.
Right, right.
You know, but do I really have the time to meal prep? Not everybody does.
I know. Well, is that something that maybe you will look into, or that will be something that
I think that would have to be more when we have probably more of a restaurant where we can definitely have
Right.
more people working on that.
that
Because
will,
it would be sad to say we can meal prep for people and not deliver.
and not
you
be
know?
able to deliver. But that's something in the future
Excuse
to
me.
look forward into.
Definitely. I would never want to promise anything I couldn't.
Deliver.
All
Of
the
course,
time.
definitely. Now, you know, people out there, you know, they're probably saying, oh, all this talk about food is probably getting them hungry. You know, and I've personally tasted her food, and I'm going to give it an A++ because it is really, really good. And, you know, she's a wonderful person, and I'm glad that she was able to come on the show today to let everybody know, you know, what she does.
Thank you
Now,
for having me.
yeah, definitely, of course. Now, how can people find you?
So you can reach me at my website, which is www.bk2pr.com. I am on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I think I'm even on TikTok, Snapchat.
All of those type of apps, yes.
Please find me. So you on Instagram, you can find me on bk2pr_catering.
Okay. So there you have it, guys.
Thank you.
She is out there. Look her up, her information, whether you're having a private party, a large event, whatever it is that you're having, and you need that food service there, call Regina. She'll be there, and she'll deliver for you, definitely. Well, Gina, thank you so much for
Thank you for
being here
having me.
today. And, you know, we're just going to put that out there for you today. And this is her logo.
Thank you,
So
guys.
when you see that,
You know that's me.
Definitely. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining our first episode of Starving Artist here in Staten Island. And I'll be looking forward much more episodes. Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.